Welcome back, students. You have asked the chapter number 3 some exercise question. You have the various doubt in a different question. So today I am going to explain you those questions. So the first question is exercise question 3.10. In the question it is mentioned the example number 3.27 figure. Example number 3.27 figure, which is the reference meter bridge setup. So this is also the reference meter bridge setup, but in that figure the R and S mentioned there, but in the question X and Y is there. So maybe you have the doubt which one is the X and which one is Y. So because it is in the order, that is why we are taking in the sequence. This one is X and this one is Y. And the balancing length is given in the question is this L is 39.5 centimeter. It is mentioned in the question L is 39.5 centimeter. So this X, your aim is to find what is the value of this X. So let us discuss what is the value of this X. So we have the simple, if the galvanometer shows the null deflection, so what is the condition for the null deflection? We have the P by Q is equal to R by S. This is the condition for the balance Wheatstone bridge. So here in place of P by Q, let's see, if whenever you have the doubt which one is P, which one is Q, which one is R, which one is S, simple concept is here, this divided by this is equals to this divided by this. Right? This resistance divided by this resistance is equals to this resistance divided by this resistance. Simple, you have to apply. Or in other words, this resistance divided by this one and this resistance divided by this one. Right? So no need to, it is a ratio. You can also interchange the ratio also. That is P by R is equal to Q by S. That is also in the same ratio. So either this divided by this is equals to this divided by this, or this divided by this and this divided by this. That is same side. From this galvanometer, the same side resistance ratio is equals to the right hand side ratio. Then you will get the null deflection. So here P by Q, I am thinking this is a P, this is Q, this is R, this is S. So here X divided by Y is equals to Y is capital Y. X divided by Y is equals to L divided by 100 minus L. So this is your basic relation, condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge. So here the value of the X is our aim to find, and L is known 39.5. So 39.5, and when we divide 100 minus 39.5, right now, and multiply by this value of the Y, and the value of the Y is given 12.5 ohm. The value is given. The value simplify, so that will be 39.5 divided by, that becomes 60.5, and multiply by 12.5. So when you simplify, you will get around approximately 8.2 ohm. So this is your answer of the first part, which is the X is equal to 8.2 ohm. So value of this unknown resistance is 8.2 ohm. So this is your first answer. The second part is mentioned in the question. In the same question it is mentioned why we are using the connection in the meter bridge is used by the copper strips. Copper strips means when you see the operators, you will see here when you are connecting these are from this connection to this connection, right now, from this point to this point, this one is made by the copper strips. These are made by the copper strips. Copper strips, right? In place of it looks like it's a wire, but it's not a wire. It is strips, right? Strips are there. So why we are using the copper strips in? Why we are not preferring the wire here? Because here we need only to proper connection is there. So for the connection, wire is very cheaper. So why we are using the costly arrangement? Why we are using the copper strips? Copper strips. Copper strips. Why we are using the copper strips? Because the strips are like that. Strips like patti, right? Strips like that. So why we are using this one in place of we are simply using the wire? See, the only difference between the wire and the strip is there. The strip's area of cross section is more. The area of cross section of the strip is more as compared to the wire. So you know that the resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. If the area of cross section is more, then resistance is less. Resistance is less. So we are connecting here the copper strips because we are getting the minimum resistance. We are getting the very least resistance for the connection, because in the balancing condition for the balance between stone bridge, we are not considering the resistance of this connection. We are assuming it is ideal, but practically any conductor have some resistance. So here our aim is to minimize the resistance, try to make it ideal, but it is not possible. But our aim is to minimize as minimum it can be. So here we are using the copper strips because the area of cross section is more for the strip. If the area of cross section is more, then the resistance is less. So why we are using the copper strip? Because the area of cross section is less. That is why the copper strips are providing the very least resistance. And second, also, although it is not mentioned in the book, but also you can predict in place of, see, if the wire is there, and if suppose the wire is internally bricked, so it cannot be analyzed directly. If the wire is internally bricked, it cannot be easily recognized. While the copper strips are there, you can simply see here there is a breaking of the strip is there. Right? So also the feasibility of this operators, it is not good to use the wire. If anyhow the internal breaking in anywhere, connection here or here, the internal breaking is there, in that case the internal breaking cannot easily recognize, and you will see your balancing point is not getting, by sliding this one you are not getting the null deflection. So here the problem is not because of the selection of the resistance, the problem is because of the internal breaking of the wire. So because of the two reasons, the one reason is given in the book, because of the copper strip is providing the nominal or the minimum resistance, and the second reason, what I feel and what other practical manuals are mentioned, because if any breaking is there in the connection, it can be easily recognized in the copper strips. So the two general methods are given. So this is your second part question. The third, so B part is given question. Determine the balance point of the bridge above if n, x and y are interchanged. That means if you are interchanging, that means y this time this side and x become this time. So the second part of the B part is if we interchange y this time this side and x this side. So what is the effect on this balancing length? So again, its ratio should be constant. If the galvanometer is showing the null deflection, automatically that means the ratio should be maintained. The ratio should be maintained. That means this time you are changing this one, so automatically this time 100 minus L will shift this side and L will this side. That means previously this one was 39.5 and 100 minus L is how much? 100 minus L become 60.5 centimeter. It is 39.5 and that 100 minus L is 60.5. So if you are interchanging this one, so the balancing point is also interchanged. This time you will get the balancing length this side and L with that side. So this time 100 minus L, yani previously you are getting the balancing length at 39.5 from this A point. Thus if you interchange the resistance, then you will get the balancing length this time at 60.5 centimeter from the A side. Right? If you upper side, if you interchange the resistance, automatically the balancing point will adjust such that the resistances of this wire is also interchanged. Right? Because ratio should be maintained. Ratio P by Q is equal to R by S. Ratio of this resistance is this divided by this equals to this divided by this. So this time this will change, because of the previously we have interchanged the x from this side to this side, y from this side to this side. So this time balancing length you will get at 60.5. So for this case L become 60.5 and 100 minus L become 39.5. So if you interchange, so L becomes 60.5 सेंटीमीटर. ठीक है, इंटरचेंज हो जाएगा. अगर ये आपस में इंटरचेंज हुए तो ये भी आपस में इंटरचेंज हो जाएंगे. अब बैलेंसिंग लेंथ जो 39.5 पे मिल रहा था, अब वो कहां पे मिलेगा? 60.5 पे मिलेगा. 60 पॉइंट 100 माइनस एल पे, जो प्रीवियस का 100 माइनस एल था उतने पे ए पॉइंट से अब आपको बैलेंसिंग लेंथ मिलेगा, ठीक ना। तो ये इंटरचेंज रहेगा। एंड सी पार्ट आल्सो गिवन इन दिस क्वेश्चन कि व्हाट हैपन इफ इन प्लेस इफ वी इंटरचेंज द कनेक्शन ऑफ द गैल्वेनोमीटर एंड द सेल, यानी सेल को इन दोनों पॉइंट्स में ऐड कर दें, गैल्वेनोमीटर को यहां ऐड कर दें, इन दोनों को। तो इफ यू सी द सिमेट्री, these two resistances and these two resistances are bifurcated by this cell, right now. If you are connecting here, again this will bifurcate the two resistances from this point. If you see from this point the cell is bifurcating these two part and these two part, right now. So whatever the cell offered here, and what if you are interchanging, cell is now connected here, this in this point, and the galvanometer is connected in this point. Again, because of the symmetry, again you will get the the null point deflection. So by interchanging the cell with the galvanometer, again the galvanometer shows the null deflection, because again the ratio is maintained because of the symmetry. इस galvanometer के around जो पूरा सेटअप, पूरा नेटवर्क है वो सिमेट्रिकल है, उसी तरह इस सेल के अराउंड पूरा नेटवर्क सिमेट्रिकल। तो इफ यू आर इंटरचेंजिंग, इन दैट केस still the ratio is maintained. That is why again the galvanometer shows the null deflection, right? Because again the potential difference across these 2 points become equal, and that is why there is no current will flow. So because of symmetry, if you interchange the galvanometer and the cell, you will again the galvanometer shows the null deflection. So this is your question number 3.10. I hope you understand. So let us discuss another one. The second question asked by the students is 3.12, and 3.12, which is based upon the potentiometer setup. So I am drawing the simple circuitry of the potentiometer. So potentiometer, there is a simple circuitry of driven battery, and then there is a rheostat, and here you are getting a slider. This is a simple circuit, and here you are connecting the cell whose EMF is to be calculated, and here the galvanometer, and here you are getting the balancing length. Right? A simple circuitry. It's a driven battery having ED, and this one is your E1, and this is your RH, and this is your potentiometer wire of AB. So in the question, few parameters given. Just see the question. It is mentioned, in a potentiometer arrangement, a cell of EMF 1.25 volt gives a balance point at 35 centimeter. So what is the meaning? That means whether this question is talking about this cell or this cell. See, this cell is not giving the balancing point because the galvanometer is connected with this cell. So this will give you the balance point, right? So E1 is given. So E1 is given how much? In the question, E1 is given 1.25 volt, and for that the balancing length, this value of L from this A point to this J point is given how much? The balancing point is given 35 centimeter. That is given 35 centimeter. Right? 35 centimeter is the balancing length is given, and it is mentioning further in the question, length of the wire. If the cell is replaced by another cell and the balance point then shift to 63 centimeter, what is the EMF of the second cell? Suppose if you are removing this one and if you are connecting another cell is there, in that case you are getting the balancing length at 63 centimeter. 63 centimeter you are getting in the second case. While you are connecting E2, then you are getting E2, your aim is to find that in that case L2 is 63 centimeter. So this is your question. What is the EMF of this cell E2? What is the value of this E2? Your aim is to find. Let's see here. What is the simple principle for this first case? You know that E1 is equal to K into L1. What is K? K is the potential gradient or potential per unit length of this wire AB. potentiometer wire is AB and whose potential gradient, that means what is the potential difference per unit length. So that is K. So the balancing length is getting at the L1. So E1 is equal to K into L1. It is a simple principle of the potentiometer. So this is your equation number 1. For the second case, what is the E2? Now see, in the question it is not mentioned, you are not changing either the ED and you are not changing the RH. There is no change in this, either the driven cell or not the setting of the rheostat. There is no change. Only in place of the E1 you are using the E2, and that is why the balancing length is changed. So in that case, whether the value of the K will change, because the K is only depends upon this ED and RH. Right now, the value of the K, potential difference. Who is responsible for the potential difference built up across this AB wire? This driven cell. This driven cell is responsible to build up the potential difference across this AB wire. Right now, so here the E2. So there is no change on the K. So there is no change on the K. That is why E2 is equal to K into L2. Just divide both the equation. Equation number 2. When you divide, you will get E1 upon E2. K get cancelled out. L1 upon L2, right? Or E2 is equal to, you will get into that side. So L2 upon L1 into E1. You will get by cross multiplication E2 is equal to L2 upon L1 into multiply by E1. So this is your E2. So just put the value. E2 is equal to L2 is 63 centimeter. L1 is how much? L1 is equal to 35 centimeter and multiply by the E1 1.25. So after simplification of E2, you are getting 2.25 volt. You will get, after simplification, you will just simplify, you will get E2 is equal to 2.25 volt. Right? So here you can see the second cell is 2.25 volt, greater value. That is why you are getting the more balancing length. So only concept in this question is that when you are changing the cell E1 and E2, in that case the value of the K is constant in the question. The value of the K depends upon only the driven cell, RH setting and this resistance of this AB wire. So unless you are changing either the RH or this ED or this AB wire, the value of the K is constant. So in this question, the K is constant, and for the different setting you are getting. So this is your E2, you are getting 2.25 volt. Right? So this is the potentiometer question. I hope you understand this one. Again, if you have any doubt, you should mention in the comment section. Thank you.